Hey everybody, how's it going? This is a video on bases, specifically urban basing, and I am using my Space Marine bike bases as a example of this because that's the bases I'm working on at the moment with an urban theme. So let's get right to it. A little backstory on bike bases. Before the new Scout bikes came out, every bike came with a cavalry base. These bases are not that big in comparison to a biker base. They got the job done for keeping your bike level so it doesn't fall over in the middle of the game. Other than that, not much to do it. Not much pizzazz you can add to it. You can flock it a little bit, but overall kind of boring and dull. And then the new Space Marine Scout bikes came out with the new Space Marine Codex, and the biker base came with them. Pill base, some people call it. Basically, it's a longer base, rounded, fits the 40k theme of having rounded bases, and it actually holds a bike on it. As far as I know, though, only Space Marine Scout bikes come with the biker base with it, so if you buy a Space Marine bike, or a Ravenwing bike squad, or a Chaos bike squad, it's still going to come with the cavalry bases, as far as I know. I haven't bought a new biker squad since the Space Marine Codex came out, and I only buy Ravenwing squads anyway, so I doubt they're going to have it on there. But you can buy these things online in bags of 5. I forget, maybe it's $8. I forget how much it is. So that's what I did. I bought a bunch. Hopefully, I have enough for my Ravenwing army. So that's the biker base. I like it. I like the biker base obviously because it fits the bike, and it gives you model to base ratio that is the same proportion of a Space Marine base, or I should say a Space Marine on a regular base. And I'll show you really quick. Here's a Space Marine on a base. You can see when you look top down, he covers a decent amount of the base, but there's still enough base around the model and enough room on the base with the model on it to add something, be it a piece of sprue to represent rubble, or static grass, or whatever you add. You have enough room to add something. We now look at the cavalry base with a bike on it. He's on an angle so I mean it's a little bit hard to tell, but if you straighten him out, there's like no room. He's over the bike, like the base ends at the middle of his tire. So yeah, he's not fully on the base because he's too big for it, and I think that's dust. Anyway, and there's not much room on the base to add something. Now, this is a Space Marine bike, a Ravenwing bike on a bike base. Notice how he actually fits on the entire base. That's a big plus. It's also big enough and allows enough room around it to put some type of flocking, not flock, but like static grass or some rubble or what have you, and without it looking too cramped. And just overall, it has a much nicer feel because the model fits entirely on it. I'm going to go into more detail on how I paint the bases on the Fortress Monastery blog post when I put that up of the all your base segments, urban basing. But I'll do a quick blurb here. Pretty much modeling flock, sand, whatever you use, paint it Chaos Black as a base coat, and then over that you just do shades of gray. I do Codex Gray, then Fortress Gray, and I dry brush those on. And I dry brush them on in varying gradients depending on how thick I want it. If I want to do like building rubble, it's heavily grayed with Codex Gray and a decent amount, but still light Fortress Gray over it. If I want to look like a road, I keep it darker with black, and then I do very light gray over it. Codex Gray, still a very little bit of Codex Gray, and a very little bit of Fortress Gray over that, and that lets the black pop through to represent the asphalt. If you want to have a black asphalt, you don't have to. On my Prius 2000 Suns, I have asphalt as gray, but if you want to represent black asphalt that's been worn a bit. It's seen battle. It's seen debris fall, rubble created around it. The dust settles. You put some gray over that, not a lot. Keep the black coming through, and it represents a road pretty well. And then if you want to put some yellow lines on there, I recommend using the foundation paint in Dark Sun, or however you pronounce it, because it's flat. It's like a flat yellow. And then if you wanted to make it look like the road's seen some better days, you put that on first, and then you dry brush over the gray over that. So it's black, yellow striping, then dry brush the gray over that. That's pretty much it for painting it. So, in conclusion, for biker bases, I think they're a great addition to any army using bikes. I think orc bikes can use it if they don't come. I don't think they come with it either. Pretty much any bike army that's not a jet bike will come with, in the squad box, a cavalry base, I believe, except for the scout bikes. Now, it is a good possibility that they may have quietly packaged newer releases of the bike squads for any of the bike armies, or bike squads in different armies with the bike base, and didn't say anything about it. I'm gonna bet on that they didn't, but I don't know. I only buy Ravenwing, and I don't think Ravenwing comes with it. Comes with it yet either. That's pretty much it. One thing I do want to say is, I showed you this before, but the guy's on an angle. Now I like that. I did that on purpose. A, to get more room on this damn base, but B, because when you put them next to, I know he's on a bike base, when you put them next to each other, or in coherency of each other, like straight like that, when you look at it head on, it looks like he's getting ready to attack somebody, or dodging fire, or they're gonna reform up into a new rank or something. It adds some dynamic to a static pose. I mean, it's not much you can do with a bike without heavily converting it to heavily converting it, or the rider. They're pretty static models. Not saying it's bad. It's just that they're modeled to look like they're going. So, to help that, I'm going to, when I rebase them, like 1 or 2 per squad, just on that slight angle. So now when you put them next to each other, line them up in a squad, or whatnot, and put them in coherency, and what have you, they look like they're actually doing something. It's like he's dodging debris, or they're going around something, around an obstacle, reforming up, getting ready to pounce, stuff like that. And that works well with anything that's on a base that's not spherical or square, rectangular or elongated bases. That's what it works well with. It obviously doesn't work on a circle base, and square bases it doesn't really work too well on either. But anything elongated, like a rectangular base or a bike base, it works pretty well on. So that's pretty much it. Up and coming soon, by soon I mean when I get around to doing bases, because I'm gonna have to do like 20 more of these bases. But I might take a break from that to do other stuff. I will take a break to build some models to get ready to paint them, but I'm rambling. The next base type I'm going to do that's new will be a Martian landscape for me. Once I figure out the appropriate color scheme to do that, I'll do it and then post a post on it on the Fortress Monastery blog and do a video about it here. I'm also going to do another desert base, just cause, so I'll probably post it here as well. But that's pretty much it. So until the next one, guys, take it easy.